friends, welcome back. Now I'll show you how to create a simple swing application. So I'll be creating a JFrame. So for that I'll be needing to import javax.swing. You can simply say JFrame or else you can also say star. Okay. So then this is my class. So I'm saying class. So I'm creating a frame. So I'll say frame demo. Okay. So this is my class. So inside the constructor of this class, which is frame demo. So I'm creating a frame. So I'll say J frame f is equal to new J frame. So there are certain constructors of the J frame. So one is the default, like without nothing into it. The other one will take some title. Okay, so I'm giving some title to this, my frame. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that it is a frame. So I'm giving some title over there. Okay. So then what I'm doing is, so this is what is there in the constructor. So I'm not doing anything. We'll just see how it behaves, how the program will behave, and later on we'll start adding the rest of the things. So I said public static void main. This is a string args. Okay, so inside the main method, so I am typing swing utilities dot invoke later. Okay, so then I'm creating a new thread. So new runnable. So I'm creating an anonymous class over here. Okay, so here, so it is public void run method. Okay, so inside the run method, I am actually calling the constructor. So which is frame demo. Okay, right friends? Okay, so here so I have to put a semicolon. Okay, so let me tell you what does it mean by swing utilities. Why did I type all this? Okay, so you might be a little bit confused, like why I did all this, why I have created a new thread. So, so there are generally three kinds of threads so that are associated with any swing application. So the first one is the initial thread. Okay, so initial thread, what is the purpose of the initial thread is that it will actually start the application. So the initial thread will start the application, and the main class, okay, so whatever we write, okay, so the main class actually runs in the initial thread. Okay, so for example, this class, which is frame demo class, so the main class will actually run on the initial thread. So the second kind of thread is the event dispatcher thread, which is also called as EDT. So what is the purpose of this EDT? Okay, so this EDT, event dispatcher thread, will handle all the user interface events, and it also updates the swing user interface. Okay, what does Oracle say? Oracle says that you should create and launch the user interface on the event dispatcher thread. I just want to repeat this, that Oracle says you should create and launch the user interface on the event dispatcher thread. Why you have to do that? You have to do that to prevent the application user interface from freezing, and also to avoid memory inconsistency. Okay, so because what happens is, like when you are this user interface, the updates and all that on the main thread, there are chances that your user interface gets freezed or it doesn't work. It stops working. So to avoid such kind of things, because swings are not thread safe, so you have to launch all your user interface events and all that on the event dispatcher thread for preventing freezing and to prevent memory inconsistency. All the operations that you perform on the user interface components should be done only in the event dispatcher thread. And you should avoid time consuming operations to be performed on the event dispatcher thread. Okay, so for example, take at this particular application. So herein you have to enter an integer. This integer is the, the position of the Fibonacci number. So for example, if you want the third Fibonacci number, so it will say, it will give 1 over here. But if you want the 50th Fibonacci number, and if you are using recursion in the backdrop, as your logic to compute the 50th Fibonacci number, then this will become the slowest application. So you should be avoiding such kind of slow applications on the event dispatcher thread. So to launch the user interface on the EDT, so you have to use a method which is called as invoke later. Okay, so what's the difference between invoke later and invoke and wait? So for example, here I have used invoke later. So which means that the call will return immediately as the event is placed in the event dispatcher queue. And run method will run asynchronously. Okay, so that is meant by invoke later. So the call will return immediately, but if you are using invoke and wait, the call will not return to the main thread. It will actually wait till this run method finish, and then only it will return to the calling function. Okay, so that is the difference between invoke later and invoke and wait. Invoke later will actually return immediately. Okay, so the call will return immediately to the calling function, but invoke and wait, where the call will not return unless until this run method finishes off. Okay, so that's the difference. So here we are using invoke later. Okay, and so that's it, friends. So I just have created a frame. We'll actually run this and we'll see what is the output that we have got. So I'll save this. So the name of this is frame demo.java. Okay. Okay, so it's successfully compiled. So I'll execute it. So I am saying Java frame demo, and we'll see. As soon as I press on the enter, nothing happened, friends. Okay, so I just want you to observe that there is no frame, nothing. I cannot see anything over here, but your application is still running. Okay, so the reason is that by default your frame is invisible. Okay, so you have to set your frame to be visible. So there is a method which is called as set visible. So I'll do that. So I came back to the program. So now once I came back to the program, now I am saying f.setVisible. So this is the method. So this is by default false. So now I am making it true. Okay, so I made it true. So I saved this. Okay, and now I am compiling and executing it again. So I compiled. So I'm executing it. Okay, so you can see, friends, that so I don't know how many of you can see this. So you can see that there is a frame created over here. Okay, but it is not having any dimensions. Okay, so the frame is here, but still it is not having any size. Okay, so again we have to set the dimensions or size to the frame. Okay, So first thing is you have to make it visible. It is very important that you make your frame visible. And the next thing is, like, you can see your frame here, but you have to set the size of this particular frame. So there is a method which is called as a set size. Now I'll be setting the size of your frame. So I'm pressing Control C. Okay, I closed my frame. So now what I'm doing is I am setting the size of the frame. So I'm saying f dot set size. Okay, so give any dimensions, the width and height. So I'm saying 300, 400. So the width and height of the frame is set. So now I'll compile and show you again. So I saved it and now I'm compiling it. So whenever you make changes to your code, it is important that you compile it. So I'm executing it. So see friends, okay, so this is our frame and this is the title that I have given in the code. I said it is my frame, so you can see that has come on the title bar. And then so this is a symbol of your swing applications and image, okay, so of your swing applications. And as you can see, the frame is having a minimize, maximize and close options. Okay, but before this I just want to tell you one more thing, that see, I'll be minimize and maximize. So I minimized it. Okay, so now again I maximized it. Now I try to close it. Okay, so just take a look at this friends. If I try to close here, so here in it will not close for you. Okay, so you'll not get the prompt again even if I close this close button. So I have clicked on the close option, but still you can see here that your application is still running. Okay, so the reason is because the JFrame that you create, the default option is that hide on close. Okay, so even if you click on the close button, it will hide. So if you want the application to close as soon as you click, like not hiding, okay, so application should not hide but it should close completely, then you're having certain options. Let me show you what are all the options available. Well friends, there is a method which is called as a set default close operation. Okay, so this is a method and it will be taking some integer operations over here. So the integer operations are do nothing on close. Okay, so hide on close and dispose on close and exit on close. Okay, so this hide on close is the default thing that we have seen. Okay, so now we want, in case if you want the application, so hide on close by default, so the value is set to hide on close by default. So if you want to change it, you have to use this method with option exit on close. Okay, so when you use this option exit on close, so the application will close for you. Okay, how it will close? So it exit the application using the system exit method. Okay, so use this only in applications. So we have to use this in the applications. So let me give this method inside the program and let us see the behavior of our JFrame. Now I'm going to give that option. So I'll be saying f dot set default close operation. Okay, and whose operation we are talking about? So we are talking about the JFrame. So that's what I have given here, the instance of the frame, which is f. Since it is a constant, so I'm giving JFrame dot, okay, so which is exit. Okay, so which should be all in uppercase because these are constants. So exit, on, and close. Okay, so now I am saving this, and so now I am recompiling it. So I'm executing now. Okay friends, so you can see this is the top level container. So every Swing application will be having this. So now let me show you. You just have to observe the behavior. In the previous case, when I didn't give the set default method to exit on close, the application didn't close, but it just is hiding somewhere. But now when I click on this close button, you can see that the application will terminate. So just observe that. So see friends, like the application is closed now. Okay, so you can observe the behavior. So well friends, this is all about the JFrame. In my next video, I'll be adding certain atomic components to the JFrame. That's it for now.